What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the 10-7 MMA. We're back.
It feels good.
We're back. It does feel good, bro. I missed you.
I know. I miss you, too.
I miss doing this.
I miss fights.
I miss fights, too. Not in real life.
No.
Just, you know, generally, and the things that we talk about here.
Right.
Right here, in the friendly confines of your dining room.
Awesome.
How are you?
I'm doing great, man. How are you? I know you had a dinner.
I had a dinner. You didn't want any of my stuffed shrimp, nor my filet. My dog's about to eat good.
Fire.
So.
Shout out Frankie.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so cute. Shout out Frankie. I love you, Frankie, my sweet boy. That's my dog. He's a little fella. And what a shame that it took us, like, how many months to shout him out for the first time.
Yeah, it's been never, right?
And also, shout out Sonny.
Shout out Sonny.
I have to say it. I'm sorry.
You.
So, anyways, well, first of all,
yeah,
let them know.
Yeah. That's a great idea, man.
Yeah.
That's why you're here. It's the brains.
Oh.
You're really like the brains of the operation.
I thought I was the looks.
Well, you could be both. You can be both. I'll just be the other guy.
Yeah.
I'll just be Bam Bam.
Fuck off.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please, no, not in the start. That's the end. Not thank you. You're going to continue to watch.
Please continue
like
watching.
Yeah, please continue watching. Like and subscribe. Ring that little bell. Do what you got to do. Follow us on Instagram at the10-7MMA. We'd really appreciate it. By the way, a little side note, we are going to International Fight Week.
I was going to have you mention that.
Yeah. So that is cool.
We've got our tickets. We've got our hotel. Well, I've got my hotel.
Mine's in the process.
Let me know where you're staying.
Yeah, for sure.
So we can scissor. Huh. But we're doing it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
And we're planning on vlogging the whole weekend.
Yep.
And also, we're not going to name any names yet.
Yeah.
But we do have some actual people fighting on the card, or at least one fighting on the card that weekend.
Yeah.
That has agreed to an interview with our little old podcast.
That's amazing. Dope, dude.
And
Can't wait to talk to him.
That's your doing, man. I'm really excited about that.
Man, hey, look.
We got a cell phone number.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. No,
I'm just trying to grow, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? We've been doing this for a while. It's been slow and steady growth.
Yeah.
But I think, hey, we're doing it the natural way, right? Because we've been watching some YouTube, and we actually a couple minutes ago noticed something. There's a lot of fucking people out there with 10,000 subscribers or 12,000, 8,000,
8 views,
100 views. Like,
everything you see here is going to be organic. We're not bullshitting nothing.
We're the Trader Joe's of podcasts.
We're doing this because we love it. And shout out Trader Joe's for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know. So, yeah, we're never going to bullshit you guys. But we do have to step it up. In the coming weeks, we will be posting more reels, more shorts.
Yep.
We're going to be working on that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
More little kind of different types of, you know, except for the long breakdowns, like different types of things that we will be doing. Yeah. So look out for that. But definitely in 5 weeks, we're going International Fight Week. And
UFC FanX. So maybe we'll have some videos of that for sure.
Well, we'll have lots of fun content, man, for sure.
It's gonna be dope.
So absolutely. In any case, unless you're not ready, let's dive right into it, my friend. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just get these notes pulled up, man. It's been a while. I forgot how to do this.
It has been a while, so if we're a little rusty, don't mind us. We did have plans to release this a lot earlier. In the coming weeks, we do hope to release this earlier in the week. We will. But in any case, this weekend, we've got a decent little fight card, you know. The main event is very interesting. It's Kai Kara-France versus Amir Albazi. And there are a couple of other decent fights on here. Yeah. When I was going through this card, I noticed there's like a lot of guys that were like I don't think much of them. There's like a lot of similar guys on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely some of that.
In any case, let's jump right into it. The first fight of the 13 for the night. This one is Maxim Grishin versus Felipe Lins, who has continued to stay at light heavyweight, has looked really good there.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, 2 old dudes to start out the fight. There's a lot of old dudes on this card.
There is. Also, I just want to say, it's weird to me because I do think of, I don't really think of either of these guys as that old. Maxim Grishin, I do think is like an older guy. Yeah. Felipe Lins, I don't know. I really didn't think of him as like an older guy.
Yeah, I mean,
but he is.
Yeah, 37 years old.
So maybe it was the switch from heavyweight to lightweight, or light heavyweight. Sorry, thank you.
Anyways, Felipe Lins, 37 years old, 16-5, 2-2 in the UFC. As you mentioned, a 205er, having moved down from heavyweight and he has been pretty damn good since he moved down. Last time out, he knocked out OSP quickly in the first, so we didn't get to see too much
as we
of him.
Expected, I think we both had that.
I believe so. He does have solid power. I like his power, Dino, a lot more at 205 than I liked it at heavyweight.
Yeah.
So,
and not only did he like just drop down, he like did it right. He
kind of transformed his body.
He looks really good.
Yeah,
you know, physically.
I think this is the right weight class for him.
Yeah.
Especially at this age. You know, anywho, he is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but you would never know it watching him. He rarely uses it.
Yeah.
I feel like he could rely on that more, and he should rely on that more. And in the stand-up, he has looked good, but he is slow and sloppy if we're going to be nitpicky. You know, he throws things kind of loopy, but he has been getting it done. So there's that. Grishin, 32-9. Sorry, geez. 32-9 and 2-2 in the UFC. 39 years old. He is a striker. Decent combination. Solidly heavy hands. He can also be a bit slow at times. Lots of lulls in his action, but when he goes, he goes. He kind of like blitzes forward. He is solidly quick and technical when he wants to be. It seems like he's like reserved a lot of the time.
Yeah. And
I don't necessarily love that. He does have the advantage on the feet. I think he's a decent grappler himself, but obviously not the jiu-jitsu the level of Felipe Lins. This fight's really close. I believe it's a coin toss, tough to call. There is an easy route for Felipe Lins to win this fight, and that's to force it to the ground. He just doesn't like to do that. So I think if he does do that, he should win this fight. If he doesn't, I'm taking Grishin if it's in the stand-up, and I believe it's going to be a stand-up fight. So I'm going to go Grishin, probably a late round finish, a KO, TKO in the third, maybe a decision. But I'm not comfortable with this at all.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm not super comfortable with it either. As you said, you know, Grishin, big, strong dude, looks really damn good for a guy that
39
is 39 and at a heavier weight class. Looks really good. Really good shape for being 40 years old. Like you said, primarily a striker. There's a few things that give me pause, man. Like he lost to Dustin Jacoby. You know, and Dustin Jacoby looked terrible in his last fight.
Right, but he looked good before that. You know what I mean?
He did. He did, you know.
Yeah.
Felipe Lin's a little bit younger. He's looked really good since he dropped the weight class. Versus Prachnio, man, who's a really good striker, too. Crazy fight. That was just an insane fight. Held his own on the feet. Almost dropped Prachnio, too. He can get a little wild. I do think that Grishin is the more technical striker, let's say.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them are like crazy technical. He's got some power. His cardio is not great, but man, neither is Grishin's. These guys are like, you know, Felipe Lins should have the grappling advantage. It's tough for me, man, because like you said, I don't really see it going to the ground. It's tough, man. I don't know. For me, for some reason, even if it's on the feet, I feel like Lins could catch him. I don't know why I'm leaning Lins, but I'm going to go Lins, man. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I could totally see him. I could see either of them getting knocked out. This is a really tough fight. What are the actual odds on this one?
Great question. I think it's a coin flip.
It's a minus 145 for Grishin. Okay. And I get it. And now hearing you, I kind of feel like I should lean Grishin, but I've already decided on paper that I'm going to lean Lins.
Yeah. I'm
going to go Lins by 29-28 decision.
Cool.
Moving on to the next.
We disagree on the first fight again.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot, but it happens, right? So,
yes, sir.
Moving on to the next fight on the card, it's Luan Lacerda versus Damon Blackshear. And this one is very interesting, too, because Lacerda is primarily a jiu-jitsu fighter. One thing I noticed about him, as opposed to a lot of jiu-jitsu guys, is that he seems to have better actual takedowns than... I feel like a lot of these primarily jiu-jitsu guys struggle to get guys down.
They're just jiu-jitsu guys.
They're just jiu-jitsu. Like,
no wrestling.
Right. Once they get you down, they have the advantage. But, I don't know. Almost all of his wins are by submission. You know, I don't think Blackshear is going to want any part of the ground game here. In his UFC debut versus Cody Stamann, he's a great fighter. You know what I mean? At the weight class, he lost by unanimous decision. He's not bad on the feet, though, man. He's got that Muay Thai style. He's got a little power. He's not super fast for the weight class. He's like weird. Lacerda. Okay. He's like weirdly plodding.
Yeah.
And you don't see a lot of plodding guys at this weight class. So I don't know, man. And like Blackshear, I like Blackshear. I like him a lot. Obviously, he lost his last one. Kind of got the short end of the stick. with having to fight
Farid
Basharat, thank you. But he made it pretty competitive, you know, until he didn't. Yeah. So he's explosive. He's got decent cardio. I'm going to go Blackshear, man. I like Blackshear here. I think he's going to knock him out. I think TKO for Blackshear.
Okay. So I just kind of, you know, I agree with most of what you said. I am also taking Damon Blackshear here. I think it's very similar to the last fight, right? I think if this goes to the ground, we do have...
There's a lot of those on this card, yeah.
Right. I think the advantage would be for Lacerda. However, I do think this stays on the feet as well. Lacerda's dangerous, man. He's dangerous everywhere, but more so on the ground. And I think Blackshear has shown good enough takedown defense to be able to stay on the feet. And I think he can get a takedown.
He did a pretty good job versus Basharat early on as far as that, too.
I agree.
You know what's crazy? 77% of Tapology people are picking Lacerda.
Interesting. And I don't know the odds on this, but we can look into it.
The odds are -144 Lacerda.
Okay. I think Damon Blackshear can even be the one to take this down if he needs to. So I like his wrestling.
I don't think you should, but I get what you're saying.
Right. So anyways, I'm going... I think the gap on the feet is very sizable. And I think
for Blackshear,
and Blackshear's advantage, and I think
and he's way faster,
way more athletic, way faster. Yeah, I'm going to Damon Blackshear. I have it by decision, 29-28, but we agree, and that's good.
Absolutely. Moving on to the next fight of the card, third one of the night. It's Jinyu Frey, or Jinyu Fry, I guess they say. Which how the fuck is Frey Fry? But okay. Versus Elise Reed.
Yeah.
So please enlighten us, Dino Bam Bam.
Yes, sir. Jinyu Fry, let's start there. 38 years old. 38 years old, not rolled. And that's the biggest issue to me. I think if this fight happened a couple years ago, it would be a slam dunk pick to pick Jinyu Fry. But that's not the case. We are in whatever year this is and whatever month we're in.
The year of the Lord 2023.
There we go. She's a grinding grappler with decent striking. She's the more experienced and technical fighter.
Elise Reed?
No, Jinyu Fry.
Okay.
She lost last time out to Polyana Viana. She got knocked out. That was pretty bad. But she looked good.
For a women's fight, that was bad.
It was really bad.
She looked good, especially early
seconds.
Especially early on.
I mean, the whole fight was 50 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
So she looked good in the exchanges until she got caught, right?
Polyana Viana is also decent.
Yeah, she's solid. Anywho, 2 losses in a row at this point. The one before that was to Vanessa Demopoulos by, I believe, decision.
Yeah, split.
That, at this point, is not aging too well because Vanessa Demopoulos didn't look great last time out. And then a quick KO after that, and the age, I'm worried a little bit about Jinyu Fry. Then we have Elise Reed. She's an up-and-down fighter. Like, you never know what the hell her deal is. She'll fight good competition and win. She'll fight bad competition and lose. Sometimes she's literally the most active girls fighter there is. Where
who's good? She beat Jasmine Judovicius.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like she'll throw.
I know it wasn't the UFC, but
right? She'll throw tons of combinations at times, and sometimes she's really reserved. Then you think she's a wrestler, and then you don't think. You know what I mean? Like she's very hot and cold. I think that's the best way to put it. She does have really good takedowns, and her takedown defense is at 100%. She's never been taken down in the UFC. So that's pretty
Jinyu Fry is not going to be the one to try to take her down anyway.
Or, I'm sorry. I apologize. Her takedown rate is 100%, but she has bad takedown defense.
Yes.
My apologies. Yeah. That's what I have written here. But she is kind of decent everywhere. Nothing really stands out about her, and she can't seem to catch a streak in the UFC at this point. Last time out, I believe she lost to Loma Lugbunmi. That's Yo Girl, and that was a really bad performance.
Loma, she looked really bad in that one.
She did look bad. I'm 50-50 on this one, Dino, to be honest with you. Like I said, I would want to pick Jinyu Fry, especially a couple of years ago. I definitely would. I'm going to stick with her. I think she still has the ability, and she's the more talented fighter. I think she can make it slow and boring and win the fight. But, again, I'm not comfortable with this one at all, and I wouldn't touch it with your money or mine.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said, man. I don't think either of these women at this point should be in the UFC. I know I say that a decent amount, but I feel like I try to reserve it when I actually mean it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I do that. I don't think... Elise Reed is somebody that when she first came in, I had some high hopes for.
Yes.
So for me, when I hear her name, I'm like, oh yeah, she's sick. And then I'm like...
Like this cool prospect, but she's like 30.
And she's 30, and then I'm looking through her fights, and I'm like, dude, she does not look good. Her takedown defense is atrociously bad.
Yeah.
I guess she's trying to improve it. Her striking, I think, is kind of underrated, or I thought so before the Loma fight.
Yeah.
You know, Fry, man, I guess the biggest thing for me is Fry was put out ice cold.
Yeah.
My brother.
Yeah.
Like,
how long? That wasn't even too long ago.
No, it wasn't long ago. Tell me when, but it was not long ago. It was,
because it's like fresh in my memory. That was in November.
November, bro. Yeah. And a 30-year, bro. If it was a 38-year-old dude at a lighter weight class, we would have reservations. It's a 30-year-old woman at a weight class like that. When's the last time she's been knocked out before that? 2017 by punches. So it was not like a cold like that. So
that was by who? Can you tell me?
Yes, that was 2017. That was I mean, you don't know her. She goes to another school. C-O.
Yeah.
Ham.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a hell of a name.
Yeah. What do you think she drinks?
Ham. Just like ham juice.
Yeah. Canned.
Yeah.
Like,
just like, you know, like the little water that's at the bottom.
Oh, I know, brother. Smart. Yeah. I just out here. Yeah, I don't know, man. For me, I'm kind of surprised that you went with Fry. I get it, and like you said, she's a decent looking lady for somebody who gets punched in the face. Like, that has for me a lot of bearing at times with these worse women. But I don't know, man. Being put out cold, you're 38 years old, coming off a terrible knockout. Reed,
yeah, I get it. I get it.
Reed has like decent trips against the cage. She's really good in the clinch, or allegedly. I don't know. Her last fight like ruined everything for me. I'm like, this girl's trash. I had high hopes.
She's 2-3 in the UFC. Like, how good? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. She got her ass kicked versus Loma. Didn't look great.
She got her ass beat by Sam Hughes. Like, that was that was bad, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still going to go 29-28.
When she loses, Dino, I'm sorry to cut you off.
When
she loses, she gets the shit kicked out of her.
Yeah, she does.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like she gets in her head. Like, and you can hear her coaches, too, like, tweaking off of it. I don't know, man. I'm not betting this fight, and you know that I don't when I say, for the most part, unless, like, it's like I'm being a degenerate. I'm really not touching this. I'm going 29-28 Reed decision.
Cool.
I do think that I could see Jinyu Fry winning the first round, and then Reed kind of trying to clinch and grapple from there, and Fry not being able to do much, maybe being a little apprehensive because of the knockout. That's where I'm at. But again, man, I don't feel great about it. So
we spent too much time on that.
We really did. It seemed like we were about to fly through it. Yeah. But in any case, next fight on the card, it's Little
Du Bronx.
Little Du Bronx, man. Daniel Santos versus
Willie Cat. Daniel Willie Cat
versus Johnny Munoz Jr. And this is an interesting one, man. You know, watching Daniel Santos, I'm like, this dude is one of the more entertaining fighters in the sport. You know, he goes all out. He goes nuts. You know. What was it? His fight versus I have Arcade written here. Clearly, that's not true because I'm just out of my mind. Versus Arce.
Yeah.
What? See, this is I've made this point on this podcast before. Why are you making this decent prospect who trains with Du Bronx, who has this good backing? Why is he debuting versus Julio Arce? Why?
Yeah, it had to have been one of those.
Who's a badass veteran, man? Who's like a legit ass guy, like. I get it if you have high hopes for him, but look at what you're doing with Patty and all these guys. Like, not to get into all that, man. I just think he's had a little bit of a bad kind of setup, man. You know, and his last fight, he fought John Castañeda. I will say he got absolutely fucked up in that fight. He got fucked up for a round and a half in that fight, and then caught him with a vicious knee. Castañeda tired out, it looked like, right?
Yeah.
Like.
He looked like he was done, yeah.
He looked like he was absolutely done. And it's interesting because they both kind of have that similar style where they come out swinging. I don't know. For me, man, I just think that Santos is still better everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I just think he's better on the ground. I don't see this fight really going to the ground. And if it does, neither of them are going to be really going for anything on the ground. It'll be just kind of trying to do a little bit of damage. Munoz, man, I think he's decent. You know, I think he lost to some subpar guys. And guys that I think that Willie Cat would beat, you know? And I just think he's had some bad matchups, you know?
Maness and Tony Gravely.
Dude, Tony Gravely, he's not in the UFC anymore, right?
I'm not sure. I believe he is.
Oh, he is? Nate Maness, yeah, I mean, Maness, like, his last fight he won versus Ludwig Schalinan, I mean, nothing super impressive. And as I watched all the film that I watched on him, I just think Santos is faster and stronger and the more skilled striker in general. So for me, this is pretty straightforward. I think finally Daniel Santos gets a chance to right the ship. I think he gets the finish here. I think it's a knockout. I don't know when. I don't think it'll be. Well, it could be in the first. They both come out hard. First or second round, I see a TKO finish for him.
Yeah. So this fight was supposed to happen a couple weeks ago. Willie Cat had to pull out due to an undisclosed injury. And so I just hit the old copy paste from last time.
Yeah.
And outside...
Oh, I should have... forgot. Why didn't I do that?
I don't know.
Tweet.
But outside of Willie Cat still being injured...
Hold on. Now I'm curious.
You're just curious to see
what I thought then. Yeah.
Right. So outside of Daniel Willie Cat still being, being injured and that being a serious thing, I just, I believe in what I said before, and I agree with you. I think Daniel Willie Cat Santos is much more exciting. He's the better prospect here. I think the striking edge is clearly in his favor. The wrestling advantage goes to him. The jiu-jitsu is close, but it might be a wash, but, he is
it's not going there,
fighter. Yeah. I think if they get to that situation, any one of the two can sub each other. However, I just don't think we get there.
Sub each other?
I'm sorry?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought I heard something else.
But yeah, I think it's probably not going to go there. I'm taking Daniel Willie Cat Santos, a.k.a. Mini Do Bronx, by TKO in the first. I just don't see how in the world, outside of catching Santos by sub, that Johnny Munoz can win this fight. So,
Same.
Yeah. Same.
If anything, Frankie Munoz.
Yeah.
You think he...
Shout out Malcolm in the Middle?
Yeah.
Shout out hell.
He looks the same still.
Yeah. You got the Better Call Saul shirt on. That connects,
oh, you like it?
That connects to Frankie Muniz, right?
How?
Well, hell. Isn't that Welterweight?
Oh my god,
yeah,
duh.
Right. There's the connection, yeah.
Oh my god, that's so stupid. Absolutely. Yeah. By the way, what a great show. Did you watch Better Call Saul?
No, actually.
Dude, so good.
Breaking Bad.
But it's
fan,
you haven't watched any of it?
None of it.
I think you would enjoy it, but it's a slow burn.
Yeah.
But it's a great slow burn.
I'm all for that.
So, in any case, moving on to the next fight of the night, it's our boy, Andrei Arlovski.
Oh yeah.
Former heavyweight champ.
Right.
Like
unreal.
if you've liked UFC ever, period, there is a period where you've loved Andrei Arlovski.
You have to.
Come on.
You have to.
Versus a very disappointing fighter, Don'Tale Mayes. Please, Dino.
All right. So let's start with this. Once the cage is locked, Andrei Arlovski becomes the second man in UFC history to have his 40th UFC fight.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's pretty badass. Second to only Jim Miller, who fights later on this card.
Jim.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. If he wins, he ties Jim Miller with 24 wins for most all-time in UFC history.
Yeah.
Pretty damn crazy. Side note, 11 people in UFC history have had 6 or more hours of octagon time.
Mm-hmm.
Andrei Arlovski is one of them, as is Jim Miller.
You can tell by the shape of his nose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyways, Andrei Pitbull Arlovski, 44 years old. As you said, absolute legend, future Hall of Famer, former champion. Billed as fighting out of Chicago, even though he's...
That's always been so weird to me.
Born in
It has nothing to
Belarus
do with
and
Chicago.
trains in Florida.
Yeah.
But let's get it.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
But whatever. 6-2 in his last 8 fights, which is awesome. Great to see a resurgence from Pitbull. In that streak...
I just want to say, if somebody tells us the answer to that, I will Venmo them or Cash App you $10.
Cool.
So comment and let us know. Yeah. So if you happen to watch this, I will deadass do that. Let us know. Yeah. If you have the answer to that, we're not going to repeat it, but you have the answer to that, comment it, and if it's right, $10.
10 bones.
From me.
Easiest $10 you ever made. All you've had to have done is be watching to this point.
That's it.
And then do
you
some
can literally
Googling.
Google it. Even if you don't know the answer right now as you're watching, you can stop right now. Pause it. Google it. Come back to it. Keep watching. Comment. And boom.
$10.
$10.
Really quickly, by the way. Anywho, in that 8 fight streak that he won 6, he fought...
Wait, are you talking about Arlovski?
Andrei Arlovski.
Recently?
Yeah.
He's
won 6 of his last 8. That was against Felipe Lins, Tanner Bozer, Chase Sherman, Carlos Boy Felipe, Jared Vandera, and Jake Collier.
Yeah.
So not the greatest competition, but...
Yeah, but Dino, show me another one of these trash guys that we always talk about who's done that.
That's what I'm saying. It's good to know that he's above that trash level of heavyweight. Tanner Boser is not that. I know he's at 205 now, but Tanner Boser is pretty damn good. The rest of those guys, not so much.
Yeah.
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 So very impressive.
But all the shit that I talk about, this division, this lineup,
yeah.
Like, this is what I'm talking about.
It's those guys.
Andrei Arlovski is like the first guy that's like, all right, fine. He's not.
Yeah. And I'll say this. Carlos Felipe, who was kicked out of the UFC, and we know that whole story, he's not that bad either. He's not that level of trash heavyweight. I mean, he's a sloppy fat guy, but he's not.
Just look at the record. Yeah.
Anywho, shows he still got it, man, and that's great. His losses in that time have come by sub, and that was against Marcos Rogério de Lima, and of course, before that, Tom Aspinall. There's a really funny moment when he gets subbed by Tom Aspinall, where like Tom Aspinall, cinches up the choke, and you can just see Arlovski's face, like, damn, like he just has like this disappointed ass face, like like he knows he's
I'm about to lose,
and he just like taps one time, and he goes fuck. He just yells it. But it's like
he did the minimum tap, like
right?
Maybe they won't see
it, But it was cool. Anyways, Tom Aspinall, obviously a dog. He's coming back soon. Excited to see that. Anyways,
that's a your boy.
I always thought it was a your boy, which is so crazy because
really, I like him a lot too. But I always thought it was a your boy.
He's not a my boy. I really do enjoy watching him fight, though. I think he's a very skilled, fun fighter.
He's a great fighter.
Yeah, I'd love to fight him.
I'd love to fight him.
Anyways, there's not much to say besides that. Andrei Arlovski, great kickboxer, good grappler, good everywhere. Chin is the question at 44 years old at heavyweight.
Yes.
Then we have Dontel Mays, heavy-handed, huge dude, 6'6", good power, good boxer, decently athletic for his size. Technique ain't all that great, man. He just swings wild and he hopes to crack you. His takedowns are solid. He's got the Louis Vuitton tats, and that's really Dontel Mays.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. In their primes, this would be an absolute no-brainer. But now we got to think about the age. Usually, I lean with the much younger fighter, especially in situations like this, where it's 13 years.
I know. Okay,
13 years. But
I
am going with Andrei Arlovski.
Thank God.
Yeah, I think he's just way better everywhere.
While I do my breakdown, tell me how many we've disagreed on, or have the answer ready, please, because I'm curious. Because I feel like we're all over the place right now.
No.
I agree with you, man. Again, I've said this before. I think it's an indictment on the entire goddamn division that Andrei Arlovski, at 44 years old, as much of a legend as he is, he's 44 years old, man. Think about the damage that he's taken. Look at his nose.
Yeah.
And you fat pieces of shit are letting him float around in this division. I'm sorry. I just want the product to be better. We, as the fans, deserve a better product. And I know that you've broken down before on this very podcast how bad the state of the heavyweight divisions are across the other organizations. Yes. And what a goddamn shame, man. What a goddamn shame. But that being said, exactly what you said, the chin is sus, but Dontel Mays is not good, man. He's one of those guys that I have on like a special list where I'm like, I wish this guy was better.
Yeah.
He's clearly gotten his fitness in control. He's looked a lot slimmer in his last couple fights. But even versus, what's his name? Not Abdulaziz.
Hamdi Abdul-Wahab.
Abdul-Wahab, who got popped for roids after that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that guy looked like a beast for like a fat little ball.
Like a thick boy, yeah.
Bro, I mean, and now it makes sense. He was on roids. But even against him, man, he did not look great. He got caught a couple times. I know that guy's like a wrestling prodigy, like for a fat piece of shit. But like, like shit, man. Like, you didn't look that great. And then even his last fight versus Sakai, which is weird that Sakai got cut.
I see it wasn't because me and you were even talking about it at that point. We had just kind of started doing the show, and I was like, I was so mad at his performance because it was such like a bitch way to fight. No, Augusto Sakai.
Yeah.
It was just such like, I don't want to be that guy that's like, I hate, like, don't fight like that or whatever. But it's like, dude, you're corny, dog.
Yeah.
Like, you had so many chances to, like, inflict damage, and you didn't. And I remember texting you pissed off, and I was like, I hope they cut him. And I'm glad they did.
Yeah, but they should have cut Dontel Mays too, to be honest. Guys. But he's we've seen less of Dontel Mays, so I guess I get it. He should be good. He's 6'6" or whatever the hell he is. Like, he's athletic. He's just not good, man. I see 29-28 Arlovski in what I think is going to be a terrible fight.
I'm going 30-27 Arlovski.
Wow.
And
wow, okay.
Bold statement, I think he wins and retires. Maybe not that bold, but
I mean, I don't even see it, to be honest. Like, there's no end in sight for this fucker. If I was 44 years old and doing what the hell he just won 5 in a row, bro. I don't know. Like, by the way, how did my hat get straighter over time? Let me see the camera.
I think you're just playing around with it.
Yeah, look at that.
Hey,
look at that.
And while you guys look at that, please like and subscribe. Go to Instagram, follow us at V107MMA. You won't regret it, or maybe you will. And
but what's the worst that's gonna happen?
It's just following someone.
Then just unfollow, bro.
Right?
Like, goddamn,
it's crazy.
So
crazy.
People make the
such a big deal out of shit like
right,
that.
then don't look. Just follow and then don't look if you don't like this one.
Facts. Mute us. We just need the numbers right now.
Right. And we're not gonna do it where we're gonna call Calcutta and like buy like 4,000.
Right. We
followers.
could.
We could do that. Everybody could do that.
Right.
So in any case,
no, but we could do it more.
We could do it hard, dude.
Yeah,
we could do it so hard. Moving on to the next fight of the night.
Shout out Calcutta. About to get scammed on something soon.
What was your boy that won the?
Oh, jeez.
Jubilee or something.
Yeah, Anshul Jubilee.
Yeah.
There's another Indian fella on the new season of.
Is there?
Whatever the hell it's called.
I ain't seen him like that.
It just started. They had 4 episodes.
The Ultimate Fighter.
No, not the Ultimate Fighter. The Road to the UFC.
Oh, there's another one.
Just started last week or last Friday.
Link me, bro.
It's on UFC Fight Pass. Fight Chip Pass.
So I love what you say.
It's out there. 4 episodes. Some good fights of a knockout of the year candidate on one of them.
I just want to know how many combinations of like letters can you put together in Brazilian Portuguese where it ends in Eich?
Yeah. Remember Leite?
That's you could EITE, IGHT. They're like
Fight.
Forget it. They're like the Polish with like it'll be like WOZCY.
No, that's
it's like Warshawski. It's like bro, you
Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K. It's like Courtesy
Whiskey. It's like Courtesy Whiskey.
Right, what is that about?
I feel like they're lying, dude. They gotta be lying. I don't know. In any case, moving on to the next fight of the night, it's John Castañeda versus UFC newcomer coming from the LFA. Currently fought and won, I believe, Championship 2. It's Muin Gafurov. I'll take this one first. I think on Tapology, vast majority of people, 70% are picking Gafurov. For me, man, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going Castañeda. You know, I've seen some legit talent out of Castañeda. I know he doesn't have the best record. What is it? It's like 19 and 6. It's all right. It's not bad. Gafurov, man, I don't know. For me, you watch his LFA title, his last LFA title fight. He didn't look great. I don't know. I didn't see anything special out of him. I know that here's the biggest difference here. For Gafurov, if he's going to win this fight, it's going to be with the wrestling. He's going to take Castañeda down, right? And that's how he's going to win the fight. But for me, even when he got Silva down in his last fight, that Brazilian guy, he didn't do any he didn't do any damage, man. Like he just kind of got him down and held him there. I don't know. Like I really I want to pick him too. I've seen everybody picking him. He's got the V at the end of his last name, even though he's
Tajikistan.
He's I was gonna say he's from one of the stands. He's Tajikistani, but
the third Tajik fighter in the UFC, I believe.
I don't know, man. I like John Castañeda. I think he's better than a record indicates. I think he's got legit talent. He should have finished Santos when they fought. And if it was Santos versus this dude, I would go Santos easily. This guy's making his debut from the LFA. He does have the, like I said, the grappling advantage. He's okay on the feet, but I don't know, man. He's got losses to Chad Anheliger and Lineker on his record by decision. I know Castañeda's coming off a bad KO. That's like the one thing that gives me the biggest pause. But I'm going to go Castañeda. I don't know how, but I feel better about this one than a lot of the other ones. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me that this many people are picking Gafurov, but I guess they're all casuals as far as I'm concerned. The odds aren't even out.
I'm sure they're somewhere, but
which is weird. So in any case, that's what I'm doing. Please.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I think when it comes down to it, Castañeda is the older fighter here. While he's not, I don't believe technically he's more experienced. They have around the same amount of fights.
Yeah.
And Gafurov has fought some good guys when you look down at his tapology. Yeah, I'm sticking with Castañeda, man. I just don't know if you're ready to come into the UFC at this point at 27 years old and just make a run into these.
And like, why haven't you been here? And also, You've lost close fights in like worse promotions.
Well, yeah, he's 3-3-1, right? And as you mentioned, he lost on the Contender Series to Chad and Elliott. John Lineker was the last big name that he fought. Lost to him. So, yeah, I don't know. He was supposed to fight Habulayev over in, I believe, in the PFL.
Yeah.
That didn't
and also,
happen.
like, he doesn't seem like a guy that is, like, gonna force the wrestling. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe in his earlier fights, and I've watched, like, 3 of his last fights. I don't know. It just...
He's not the most
I don't see it. Apparently, the odds are really close. I found Bet365 odds. -138 for Castañeda. +110 for Gafurov.
Interesting.
I just don't see it, man. I really don't. You know?
I echo it.
So, in any case...
How did you have that finishing?
I think I didn't want to say.
Okay.
I mean,
Castañeda, you don't have to say.
He comes out really aggressive, like we saw for Santos, and I love his array of strikes. Like he throws really nice combos, like jab cross, hook, uppercut. Like he goes from different angles. I really kind of like Santos does too, honestly. Who's obviously fighting on this card too, but. I don't know, man. I just don't see it. I don't feel great about it. Like don't sit here and like could Gafurov just take him down and wrestle fuck him for 3 rounds? Of course he could, and like, but I don't see him doing a lot of damage. You know.
Yeah.
But obviously, in the judge's eyes, I could see that happening. It's just I don't like to bet on that.
Right.
You know.
That's fair.
I don't want to bet on a boring ass fight.
So and then and if he does get the win here, then maybe you feel a lot more confident next time out.
If he gets the win here against let's be honest, like, taking away the fact that his last name ends in OV, this is a tough fight to come into, you know? So, you're right. If he wins this, respect, you know? In any case, moving on to the next fight on the card, it's the famous Polish-Brazilian Elizeu Zaleski versus my personal favorite, Nurmagomedov.
Really?
Abubakar. No, I don't particularly like him. He does have the Vegeta hairline.
Nice.
I'm going to go Abubakar. No, it's not. No. Those are the 2 guys fighting, though.
Yeah.
Wasn't he supposed to fight like before? Because I remember writing Abubakar. I just like saying it, Abubakar.
Let's see. He was supposed to fight Carlston Harris like 2 months ago.
And I would have gone Carlston Harris on that one.
I think you did.
I think I did.
Yeah. I think you did.
In any case, yeah, it's Zaleski versus Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
Please.
All right, so let's start with Zaleski. 23-7, 9-3 in the UFC. Really good striker. Really good power. He's funky on the feet. He has like that capoeira kind of style to him. He has really good cardio, and that's a huge thing here. He has been away for a hot-ass minute, so I'd like to see if that cardio can hold up. Last time out, we saw him against Benoit Saint Denis. That's our boy Andy's favorite fighter. I think he just likes him just because of his name, maybe. Benoit Saint Denis.
It's a badass
shout
name.
Shout out Andy, and shout out Benoit Saint Denis.
Shout out Andy.
And
also shout out Marlon Carril.
Yeah, absolutely. So... that was way back at UFC 267 the last time he fought, okay? And that was Jan versus Glover, to give you, like, some perspective on how damn long...
That should always tweaks me out. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That should always tweaks me out is when I'm watching film. 2 things tweak my ass out when I'm watching it is like, oh, shit.
That was this card.
It's the shorts.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, oh, shit, they didn't have, like...
the Venom or the Reebok or whatever.
Right, it's like, oh, they had the Reebok or whatever, you know? Mm-hmm. And obviously, as we keep going, we're going to get away from the Venom more and more. But, and then also, like, exactly that. It's like, oh, like, tonight, like, this guy versus this guy. It's like, oh, shit, this was, like, on that, you know, like that card or that long ago.
That is a trip. But he won that fight via decision. He has an impressive resume with wins over Amir Akhmedov, a win over Sean Strickland. He's fought the Leech Lee Zhang Liang, and he lost to Muslim
Who are you talking about?
Zaleski.
He has a win over Sean Strickland?
He has a win over Sean Strickland and Amir Akhmedov.
Oh, at 170.
Yeah.
I did see
that. And then he has losses versus Li Zhangliang and Muslim Salikov.
Li Zhangliang.
That was a really close split decision, by the way. He has been scheduled to fight Shavkat Rakhmonov, so he is like, you know, he's fighting good guys.
He's fighting really good.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, not like the top, but he's fighting really good guys.
Right, so...
he's also 36.
He's high level, he's experienced, he's a little old. Then we have Abubakar Nurmagomedov, 17-3-1, 2-1 in the UFC. He fights exactly like his last name. You say Nurmagomedov, it's what you assume he is. He's going to push forward to grapple. He wants to do smash to you. That's like the whole shtick. Mm-hmm. He is one of the more boring of the Nurmagomedov clan. He's not the most exciting one. Let's put it that way.
He looks like he could read a good lullaby.
Maybe in Russian.
And Cyrillic.
What is Cyrillic?
You know, like the Russian writing.
Oh, okay. I mean,
yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking. You know,
no,
you seen like.
I mean, I've seen Russian writing.
Yeah.
Like backwards E's and shit, and like upside down N's and H's.
Really, it's like it looks like it's like this kind of shit. Like this is what it looks like.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Wild. Anyways, his downfall, Dino, if he has a downfall in his ground game, it's the fact that he gets subbed sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, he is susceptible to being subbed. We've seen him be subbed in the PFL. We've seen him be subbed in the UFC by David Zawada, who weirdly enough now is in the PFL. He's not.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's there. He actually lost his first fight. And he's fighting...
he was so hyped.
Yeah, and now I think he's fighting Magomed Karimov over there, and that's not a good matchup. But anyways... Abubakar, his whole shtick, it's been solidly successful for him. Not to the level of Umar and the rest of those guys, though, right? He's always the one that, like, didn't get to the top. He still has time to do
He's
it.
actually related to them, though, right?
I believe he is fully...
He's like a cousin,
related
I think. Yeah,
he is related to Khabib. Zaleski was the favorite here, and now it's become a coin flip. You see the last name Nurmagomedov with plus money. I'm assuming that's why it became a coin flip. Like,
has to be.
You see Nurmagomedov plus, I'm throwing money on it.
100%, dude. Especially with how many degenerate... If this was back in the day where like we didn't have gambling at our fingertips,
you're right.
I feel like that makes a big difference. Like nowadays, you see that 100%.
So, I'm taking Abubakar Nurmagomedov here though for two reasons. Number one, the layoff for Zaleski worries me, and the fact that Li Zhengliang was able to take him down and pretty much whoop his ass on the ground.
Yeah,
that gives me major pause, to steal your term. So I'm going Abubakar split decision, but I think if he cannot take Zaleski down, he's in big trouble.
Yeah, man. I was also a huge fan. I still like him, of Benoit Saint-Denis.
Yeah.
I really, really like that guy. Like, I really thought, like, I wanted to see him do some shit. You know, I don't know. And I didn't. And he was undefeated when him and Zaleski fought.
Yeah.
How the hell is your last name Zaleski, bro? What are Brazilians on, bro? What are they on?
Gilbert Burns.
Burns? Like, they have American names. They have, like...
Wellington Thurman.
Ivan. Like, how are you? How do you have Russian names, bro? You got like a black Thurman.
You're right.
Like what's Zaleski? What is happening in Brazil? They're just like out here. They're just doing shit. They're very cavalier with the letters. Like Leitch, Cage, Fage. Like, what are y'all doing?
Justin Gage. He's fighting for the BMF soon, I think.
I hate that. I really hate that that they brought that back.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But anyway, man. This is harder than I think most. What are the people saying?
The people will say what we tell them to say, Dino.
You'll do what you're told, son.
Yeah.
Nurmagomedov 62%.
Yeah, and it's closer than that. It's closer than that. That's the name value.
The odds are dead even. By the way,
that's the name value of Nurmagomedov. You see one of those guys fighting, and you're gonna.
I agree with it. I agree that it's really, really, really close. Man, Zaleski looked, dude. He was They were literally yelling, "Stop the fight." Felder was literally yelling, "Stop the fight" in the middle of that fight. Oh, and like he was undefeated and looked really good against some decent people before. But like you said, man, I think it's your typical Brazilian Muay Thai / Jiu-Jitsu guy versus your typical Dagestani, wrestler / wild looping thrower in terms of striking. I'm going to go Abubakar too, and like you said, man, I think the biggest thing is the fact that he's 36 years old. Why the hell did he take it? Like a 19-month hiatus, man. That's a long time.
Yeah. And
he looked really damn good. Like
he really did.
And I don't think he took that much damage. I wish I knew what happened there. I don't have that information. I'm going to go Abubakar by decision as well, 29-28.
Cool.
So, moving on to the next fight on the card, it is Jamie Mullarkey versus Muhammadjon Naimov. So this one is interesting because this would have been like the fight of the night for me if it was Garam. Yeah. I would have loved to see Garam.
How crazy is it that guy just never fights?
Garam hates fighting, dude. Yeah. He just hates it, and
in comes in the fourth Tajik fighter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean? And boy, are they really pushing these guys these days.
Apparently there's a lot of support in that country. Like, they're enjoying the shit out of the UFC, so.
I mean, we all do, right?
Yeah.
You don't see me out here, like, making a whole fuss about it. But anyway, Jamie Mullarkey, we know what he is.
Yeah.
UFC veteran, has truly fought some really, really, really high-level competition. Is he the best guy? He's obviously not, man. Like, I don't think I've ever watched a Jamie Mullarkey fight and been like, this guy's going to be something. But I do think that he is better than... He's almost like... what's the guy that Gilbert Burns beat? Bro.
Which guy are we talking about?
I'm sorry. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll tell you right now. But, yeah, I don't know, man. For me... I guess the biggest difference is that, well, first of all, Jamie Mullarkey looked decent in his last fight versus Prado, who was a 20-year-old prospect. He was swinging, and I like that Jamie Mullarkey utilized his jab in that one, used his length, and he actually used some takedowns, too. We don't see a ton of that from Jamie Mullarkey, but I did enjoy that. Naimov, you hear a name like Naimov, right? And, you think that he's going to be, Neil Magny is who I was thinking about, by the way.
Okay.
He's almost like a Neil Magny of the weight class to me. Like, you know, I don't know. He's like a guy that's like pretty damn good, and if you can beat him, he's like an Arlovski too, right? Where it's like you should beat this guy if you want to be something in this weight class. So Naimov, I've watched a lot of tape on him. When you hear his name, you think that he's going to be what?
Yeah, a wrestler.
You think that he's going to be a wrestler. You think he wants to take you down and do all that shit. He's not, though. He's literally a Taekwondo specialist. Throws a lot of kicks, you know, and he's jacked. Like, if you look at this dude, he's jacked. I do see this being a striking match. When I looked at his record and when I watched his fights, man, of the fights that he's won recently, two of his...
I'm just checking something. I'm checking something. Go ahead. It's for this. It's for this.
The two of his last fights that he's won, okay, if that makes sense, have been against trash competition, right? Or, I'm sorry, two of the last three have been versus decent opponents. Other than that, has been trash. He's 5'9". Jamie Mullarkey's a lot bigger. He also typically has fought at featherweight.
Yeah.
So, for me, sure, you hear the name, you know, but knowing he's not a wrestler like that, he's not a grappler like that, he's going to want to strike. Jamie Mullarkey's a pretty smart fighter. He's seasoned enough, and certainly more than most. I think he's really better everywhere. I could even see him getting a finish. I know he's not really a finisher here. I could see Naimov getting a little too aggressive. I would have gone with Garam, but I'm going to go with Mullarkey here. I'm having a tough time deciding either by TKO. Probably not, right? Probably by decision. I could see a 30-27 Mullarkey here.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. I think the biggest difference being the just fighting up in weight. You're a 145er, and
Mullarkey's a big 155er.
Right. He's a 6-foot guy. They have Jamie Mullarkey listed at 6 foot. They have Naimov at 5'9".
He is
Mullarkey at 4 foot, 4-inch reach advantage. He's the one that was ready to fight a killer in Gafurov Kutsaledze.
And he would have lost that.
Yeah, I believe he would have lost that. So I am going with Jamie Mullarkey. I agree with you. I think a 30-27 is about right.
I will also say that I appreciate when somebody drops out and they give somebody like a slightly easier fighter, like he deserves it. Yeah. I know, like not necessarily that's always what we want to see,
right?
But you know, somebody like Jamie Mullarkey maybe deserves it.
It's not like, oh, you stepped out. Here's Gamrot. Like
he wasn't like, I'm not fighting, bro. Like
right.
you know,
yeah.
So and that's very short notice. So Muhammadjon. So in any case, moving on to the next fight of the night, it's Karine Silva versus even better than Karine. Who said that?
Lil Wayne. Shout out Weezy F.
Absolutely.
The F is for finisher.
Damn.
Yeah.
And we'll leave you with that tonight, and that's it.
Which is what Karine Silva is.
Oh my God.
She's a finisher.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And the women's, and like a
15
women's...
15 wins by finish.
At 125?
It's crazy.
Dude,
it's crazy.
She had 4 first-round finishes recently, or was it?
All of them are the first or second round. Like, she destroys people.
Dude, and she has like a cute person face. Like, I'm not saying I particularly think she's attractive.
Right.
She's fine, you know? And I'm not... And if she's not, that's all good.
She doesn't have to be your cup.
I shouldn't have said anything.
She doesn't have to be your cup of acai, right?
I love acai.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying, good for her, man. Like, she's out here. Does she pass the eye test? Not necessarily, but, man, that is an impressive string of finishes at 125 in the women's division. Ketlen Souza, don't think that much of her, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know? This is her making her UFC debut. So obviously they're both, you know, pretty raw as far as that's concerned. She does have a string of wins in Invicta.
She just won the title in Invicta her last fight.
She did, but she has a loss to Ariane Carnelossi on the record. And, you know, if you look at the records of the women that she has fought, right? 2 fights. Okay, so her last fight, 6-3. 2 fights, or a fight before that, 8-6. That was at the end of 2022. Before that, and all these are by decision, by the way. Her last finish was in 2021 against an 0-1 fighter, dude.
Fire.
So for me, you have a finisher in Silva going against a non-finisher fighting cans in Souza. This is an easy one for me. I'm going Silva by finish. TKO, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm sorry. You should have gone first on this. I just took it over. I apologize.
Doesn't matter. Here's the thing. I disagree with a little bit of what you're saying, but generally I agree. I think Souza is a good prospect. I think she's someone to look out for in this division. I think later down the line, we're going to see her at some point near the rankings, if not in the rankings. So, anyways, there's that. She is facing Karine Silva, though, who has looked like a killer. I mean, she's finishing everybody and pretty damn quickly. She's aggressive. That's aggressive. She takes she takes risks on the ground, which I like. Karine Silva. She's going for subs. She's going for ground and pound. I think I'm taking Silva by sub in the second, not to prolong anything here, but I think Souza's pretty good too.
Fair.
I'm trying.
I haven't necessarily seen that.
Yeah.
But sure. So I'll let you take this next one first because I just stepped in on you like that a little bit.
That's fine.
Next fight of the night, or not fight of the night necessarily, but the next fight of this particular evening is UFC veteran Tim Elliott, 18-12, which I did not realize his record's that bad. When I think Tim Elliott, I just think a mainstay in the 125 division, and he is. I'm not taking that away.
Yeah.
Versus Victor Altamirano, somebody that we've already covered on this podcast, 12-2. Give me your thoughts.
All right, I just want to say, Tim Elliott? UFC Tim Elliott? Remember that? Do you not remember that?
No, I don't.
That's what Patchy hit me with at the casino.
Oh, my God.
Which
Okay.
had me rolling. But anyways, very interesting fight here. Victor Altamirano, as you mentioned, we've talked about him before. Fast striker, good power. He's patient, yet he's pretty damn active. The kid has looked impressive since we saw him on Dancing with the Stars, Dana White's Contender Series. 2-1 in the UFC, coming off back-to-back wins. Biggest question mark on him in his career has been his takedown defense. Yeah. He gets taken down pretty easily.
Which is interesting because he's not a bad grappler.
No, he's pretty damn active and good when he's on the ground.
Even when he's the one making the offensive moves.
And even on the bottom, like, he's active. He's looking for shit. Long legs. Stop, You can't just do that. I can do that to you all the time.
Yeah, no, we can do it every fight.
It's really mean.
It's really mean.
It's mean.
I'm sorry.
I hate this.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, he beat Vinicius Salvador in March, and I had picked Vinicius Salvador. So I was wrong there.
I think I did too.
Yeah, quick turnaround. Excited to see what Victor Altamirano looks like. Then we have Tim Elliott. He's a dog. Literally every fight that he's in is a dog fight. He's gritty. He's dirty. Every fight is scrappy as hell. Everything comes from weird angles when he's fighting. There's nothing orthodox about him. He's pushing forward. Weird footwork. Weird everything. Don't let him fool you, though, with that. He wants to get the fight to the ground, and he is looking for a sub. That's his bread and butter. It can sometimes be to his detriment how funky he is. I feel if he were just, to keep the stand-up, if he were to just keep that as like simple, you know what I mean? Just keep it ones and twos and normal hooks and leg kicks and shit. It would be beneficial for him.
Yeah, you know who he does have a win over?
Huh.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Louis Smolka.
Really? See, I don't know. I'm gonna watch that tonight. That's my film for later on tonight before we start for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I was gonna say shout out Louis Smolka, but never. That guy is a piece of shit scumbag.
I have really no particular feelings for him.
Yeah. As
a disclaimer for this podcast,
just
he's a human being.
Yeah. Just a scumbag piece of shit. Made me really hate everyone at Oyama's gym. I don't like Esparza because of him. I don't like a lot of people because of him. So when I see that their team is fighting, I really hope bad things for them. It's crazy.
I just want to say, I didn't realize that Victor Altamirano is 32, dude.
Yeah, he's old. He's not like a young guy.
In my mind,
he looks like 16.
I swear to God.
Looks like Ephraim.
I thought I saw him at Sueños, literally.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought I saw him at the festival the other day.
That's what I'm saying.
By the way, Nicky Jam was fire.
Okay.
That guy was awesome.
I don't know who that is.
You know Nicky Jam?
Not at all.
Como tú te llamas, yo no sé. No?
Yeah, just like that, we got copyrighted. Actually, you have to be getting paid to get copyright, I think.
Put it right there, buddy.
Absolutely.
In any case.
Yeah, Tim Elliott's a dog. We haven't seen him since March of last year where he beat Tagirul and Bekov in what was a super scrappy, dirty,
as fucking.
cheaty.
You could say that he lost that.
Yeah, it was really damn close. He was doing some dirty shit, but it is what it is. That's a Tim Elliott fight. I picked against Altamirano last time out, and I was wrong. Maybe I haven't learned my lesson yet because I am taking my boy Tim Elliott here. The takedown defense and ground game has been Altamirano's weakness. He's very active when he gets taken down, but for me, what that means is that you're probably giving up a limb or a neck to Tim Elliott.
Yeah.
And he is cinching that up. He is known for weird-ass chokes, and I think he finds a weird-ass choke here in the third, like a Von Flu or like something crazy like that is what I'm expecting.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree, bro. I agree. I see Tim Elliott winning it. I don't know necessarily how.
Yeah.
But I do think that he will pull this one out.
Mm-hmm.
So after everything I've said, and especially now realizing that Altamirano is 32, also, yeah, I mean, Tim Elliott's better than his record, I feel like. I know he's an older guy. I hate that we have to say older guy, and the dude's like 3 years older than me.
Right.
But anyway, you get what I'm saying. I agree with you. I'm going to go Tim Elliott as well. I don't know by what way, but I'm going Tim Elliott as well.
Fire.
Moving on to the next fight of the card, it is, oh my God, it's Jim Miller, man, versus...
An older guy.
Oh, so many older guys. Also, another guy that I didn't think was old as he is, Jared Gordon.
Yeah.
Jared Gordon's like 34 years old, dude.
Yep.
I did not realize that. He spent way too much of his time doing crack or whatever he was doing.
Yes.
He shouldn't have done all
that's
that.
what it was.
But like, good. Like, I'm not taking that away from you, bro. Like, good for you that you like stopped doing it. Like, dude, still be doing it. So like, maybe you're still doing it. And if you are, that's fucking even crazier, bro. Like,
yep.
Props to you. When I see these two names, I want to say it's Jim Miller and it's easy, right?
Yeah.
Two things give me pause.
Okay.
Jim Miller did not look quite, even like the older Jim Miller.
Yes.
His last fight out, right, which was versus
was Alexander Hernandez.
He didn't look that great, man. He really didn't look that great. Sure, he beat Donald Cerrone. Donald Cerrone did not look like he wanted to be there at all.
And that was
at that
weird.
point.
They both like head kicked each other.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. Jared Gordon has literally never impressed me in the entire duration I've watched his career.
Yeah.
All the film that I've watched until his last fight. And his last fight versus Bobby Green, dude, he looked damn good.
Yeah.
He looked damn good. Like, honestly.
And he looked good against Pat. He beat Patty. He beat Patty.
He for sure beat Patty. I just think for me that really doesn't mean anything.
Fair.
You know?
Yeah, fair.
But I think the Bobby Green thing, like, I think that is a big one, man. I don't know. Bobby Green, even in, dude, he beat Drew Dober.
Yeah.
Like, or I'm sorry, he lost to Drew Dober, but he was, like, beating Drew Dober.
Right.
So
he was outclassing Drew Dober.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Like, this is such a tough one for me. You tell me who you're picking.
So I just want to mention one quick thing before I do that. This is Jim Miller's like 42nd fight.
Yeah,
so that's crazy.
Do you think he's done too? You think we're getting multi retirements?
I think he is fighting at UFC 300. That's his goal.
That's his goal. Yeah, we talked about that before. Yeah, you said that on this podcast.
Yeah, so that's going to be awesome. He's looking for his 25th fight, and I think 25th win in the UFC, and he'll be the first person to ever do that. And I think they'll make a pretty big deal out of that. Because 25 wins is crazy.
I hope they do, but they never really do like that much. But that's insane, dude. Well, how about this? That may never be hit again.
Yeah, it's unlikely. It's very unlikely.
No, I would say I'd be willing to say it's very fucking unlikely.
Because Dino, who's fighting more than 2-3 times a year? It's like the guys that are young and hungry, and it's like they get to the top and they don't fight anymore.
How many wins does Conor have in the UFC?
8. I don't know.
How many wins does Khabib have in the UFC?
Like around there, 8,
like,
10.
No way 10. Less than 10.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look it up. There's no way 10, bro. There's no way Khabib has 10 wins in the UFC.
Let's find out.
I just want, like, that's the point I'm trying to make.
13-0 for Khabib.
Okay, I'm sorry. In the UFC?
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Yeah. Conor McGregor.
And again, we're talking about all-time
greats.
Conor
McGregor 10-4 in the UFC.
Great. We're talking about all-time greats.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the numbers in front of me. The point I'm trying to make still stands, though, is...
They're not close.
They're not even close to 20. Well, they're barely... Khabib's barely halfway there.
Right.
Conor's not even halfway there.
Right.
So, that's crazy, man. I mean, But anyway, you were saying.
Yeah, so I just wanted to shout out Jim Miller for that. That's very impressive.
Oh my God, if we're going to shout out anybody, it's Jim Miller. Dude.
And then I wanted to ask you before I give my answer, what do they drink, by the way? I'm really interested in these two.
Jim Miller used to drink Bud Light.
Okay, but yeah.
No. Oh, forget it now.
Well, he can't go into Target and buy it anymore. So
I saw pre-gay Bud Light on sale for $46 a can. That's a steal, brother.
I had 2 cans of it, but they went bad. They were like the big boy cans.
Sam?
They were just in the back of the fridge. No, but that was a good one.
They don't make that noise.
What's he drinking now?
I mean, he's probably drinking High Lifes, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just keeps it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Jim Miller's drinking beers, dude.
Okay.
If he's drinking beers.
I feel that.
Like, and Jared Gordon's not drinking.
Yeah,
dude.
I feel like he should.
He's not drinking.
Right.
Like, he was an addict.
Right.
There's no way he's drinking.
I feel that, and I hope not.
It's kind of fucked up that you would ask that.
Yeah, and you know what's more fucked up is like, I don't like the trajectory of his career right now, bro. That's a little scary, is all I'm saying.
Well, you think, like, if he loses this one?
He gets scammed out of the Paddy Pimblett thing, which is huge.
He got headbutted.
Then he gets headbutt knocked out, and now he's fighting like 2 months later.
Maybe he's a stronger man than me, because I would have been boozing.
Oh, my God. I'm boozing now. It's like, nothing happened to me. Nobody knocked me out.
Maybe somebody should
have. Probably. Anyways,
so.
I think I'm going with Jim Miller, man, by decision. I think Jared Gordon, I don't like the fact that he just got knocked out, and he's back at it. How quickly? He just fought in April.
This is so hard.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think he should win. I think skill-wise at this point in his career, like, he looked good against Paddy for whatever that's worth. He looked good against Bobby Green for whatever that's worth. But I don't know, man. The trajectory of his career, it's one of those things. Like, I just don't like where this is headed.
And that was the only time I've seen him look good, though. Like, I know versus Paddy he looked good, but I don't consider that good because we learned in that fight less than that he was good, but more that Paddy's trash.
Yeah.
Coming in tonight, this was obviously always going to be tight.
Yeah.
I was going to sit here and tell you that I'm going with Jared Gordon for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
I'm going Jim Miller too, man.
Yeah.
And I could see a KO too.
I could also see it the other way too, is all I'm saying.
I could too.
Yeah.
I'm not betting this fight.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that for sure. So, in any case, moving on to the next fight of the night, it is
Bruce Leroy.
Alex Caceres.
Fire nickname.
Absolutely. Versus Daniel Pineda, another guy I did not realize that he's that old, dude.
Yeah. Please
give me your thoughts on this one.
Bruce Leroy, another guy with a ton of octagon experience, 15, 11, and 1 in the UFC. 5 hours of octagon time for him. I was looking at those.
And like low key as hell.
Yeah, low key as hell. And he's not that old. He's 34, turns 35 soon. So happy early birthday to him. Tons of experience, good striker, funky as hell, high volume, high accuracy kind of guy. His grappling, I feel, has always been overlooked. Alex Caceres. He is a good grappler.
He's such a tough fighter to figure out.
Yeah, he's the epitome of a martial artist. Like, he really has that whole martial artist thing down, like the respect for the game, the respect for different styles. Then you have Pineda. He's 5-5 in the UFC, 28-14 overall. He's kind of do or die. He never in his career has won a decision, which is crazy. So he's either going to finish you or he's going to get finished by you. He comes out to kill. If he doesn't get it, he's going to fade quickly and get finished himself. He beat Tucker Lutz last time out, which is like whatever. He's decent. I think Alex Caceres is very durable. He's a tough guy to get out of there early. I think he has the experience to deal with an early onslaught and survive it. And I think he has multiple ways to finish this fight. I'm taking Bruce Leroy, second round TKO after Pineda fades, which he always does.
Yeah, I have pretty much exactly the same, pretty much verbatim took it out of my mouth. I think he's one of the more underrated guys in the UFC. Do I think he's going to be like a champion? Absolutely not.
That's past.
We're way past that, exactly. Thank you. But in the weight class, man, I think he's super well-rounded. I just think if Alex Caceres was
28,
thank you. Like, I would be very, very excited about him and what he could do. I just think there's so much talent in this division. I don't see it, going past that. But I do think for this one, I agree with you, man. Daniel Pineda, I don't dislike Daniel Pineda. I think he's got some decent wins. He hasn't been super active. He's done more like grappling and stuff like that, which is interesting.
Yeah.
The win over Tucker Lutz, I mean, sure, he got a finish, but
what does that really
a loss to Cub Swanson in 2020.
By knockout.
By knockout, you know, a bad knockout. He did beat Herbert Burns, which fine. He's got more no contests than like anybody I know, by the way, which is super interesting. I agree with you. I don't know that he's going to get the finish, so I'm not going to call that necessarily, but I'm going to go with Alex Caceres too.
Yeah, but that's my thing, right? It's like, I think does not go the distance is a guarantee in this fight.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's no way we see the end of this one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What makes you say that more than anything?
Because Daniel Pineda gets...
Oh, you're right, because he either gets finished or is a finisher.
He's not going to... There's no way he's winning.
And I guess you can kind of say the same about Caceres too, except his last... So, in his last 6 fights, 5 have been finishes.
Yeah.
The only one that wasn't was his loss to Sadiq Youssef, which was a close fight, man. Yeah. And his win versus Kevin Kroom, which, you know, whatever.
And that last knockout was disgusting.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see him fight Nate Landwehr, by the way, which is canceled.
Nate the Train,
yeah. In any case, moving on to the main event of the night, it's Kai Kara France versus Amir Albazi. I guess I'll take this one first.
Yeah. And by the way, low key, you're on. I believe you're on like a 5 or 6 fight.
I think I'm on a 5 fight.
We're gonna have to
win streak. Also, man, I should have pulled up my phone to show the people that bet that I had. How close I was.
What was the bet?
It was that one card. Two cards ago. I bet it wasn't the whole card.
When you hit like almost.
It was the Michael Johnson card. I didn't bet the whole card. But I bet like the ones I felt best about.
Yeah.
And the Michael Johnson fight was one of 9. The only one of 9 I got wrong.
Screwed you.
It was like $30 to win like $2,300, dude.
Yeah, I saw that.
So Michael Johnson.
Is he joining that list now?
You're on the fucking list, brother. I love you. But come on, man. God damn it. I should have known too. He was ready. He was due for one.
That was brutal.
That was brutal as hell. Oh, by the way, I didn't even watch it. I like stepped out. I had to like step out or like talk to a client or something or like some girl or something. And I was like, and you're like, oh, you text me, oh my God, all caps. And I'm like, he's not, by the way, the most enthusiastic texter. So I'm like, what just happened, bro? And he's like, Michael Johnson knocked out. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, he was snoring.
Like knockout of the year contender.
He was literally like, yeah, he was literally snoring. Like, and I was like, stiff. I'm like, oh, sick. I was pretty convinced I was going to win $2,300.
Yeah, it looked great. Yeah. It looked great.
Oh, yeah. God damn it.
Welcome to gambling.
Yeah.
That's why we are not a betting podcast.
Yeah.
We could be. If Michael Johnson would have won, we could have started promoting.
Oh, we could have started saying, like, look at us. Like, we, you know.
We're up 400 units.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Anyway, Kai Kara France, Amir Albazi. I think what Amir Albazi is going to try to do in this one is take Kai Kara France's back.
Yeah.
I think Kai Kara France is one of the better defensive fighters in the division, if not the best. I really like Kai Kara France. He reminds me of GSP for some reason, in like a weird way.
Okay.
I don't know why that is. Maybe it's the fact that his name is France.
Yeah.
And I know GSP is he's Quebecois.
Quebecois.
But I don't know what it is. But I just think Kai Kara France is really good.
Yeah.
And I think this is a crossroads for Kai Kara France. Either he's going to win this fight and be right and like really solidify himself as a contender in this tough ass division.
Yeah.
Or Amir Albazi's he's gonna lose, and then I feel like Kai Kara France is like gonna lose another couple fights after this.
Yeah, like the decline begins.
I don't see Amir Albazi taking his back. I think Kai Kara France is better on the feet personally. I think he's got. I don't think Amir Albazi anything that special on the feet. He's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Kai Kara France. It's a 5-rounder, man, so I could see a finish, but I guess I'm going to go like 4-1, 3-2, kind of like round breakdown Kai Kara France on this one.
Okay. Let's start with Kai Kara France here. Very good boxer.
He looked decent against my boy.
Like Brandon Moreno.
Yeah,
he looked pretty good.
Hey.
Very good boxer, good volume, good speed, good footwork. Something that I think is very important in this fight is that he has good takedown defense.
Oh, some of the best, maybe the best.
It is really good. In his last fight, of course, as you mentioned, he lost to your boy Brandon Moreno for the interim title. Moreno looked next level that day.
He looked, oh my God.
And then later on against Figgy in his next fight, Moreno looked next level again.
So you have to understand that he's just next level.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So Brandon Moreno,
he's the champ.
At this point, he's the best 125er on earth.
Shout out Peso Pluma, by the way.
Cool. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I'm down. Shout it out.
Okay.
Anyways, Brandon Moreno, he is the best 125er on the planet right now. Of course, we're going to be at UFC 290, which is dope. We get to see him in Pantoja, who
if you remember, two of my favorite fighters are on that card.
Yeah.
Bobby Nux and Brandon Moreno. I can't fucking wait.
And Volk.
Sick. 3 of my favorite.
Trayshawn Gore and Bo Nickel.
I love me some Trayshawn Gore.
Legit. It's about to be dope.
Bo Nickel killer.
Anyways, I'm super excited for that. But Brandon Moreno looked next level, and he was giving him a little bit of a scrap, right?
He was.
Anyways, Amir Albazi, good grappler, pretty high-level jiu-jitsu, decent striker with a really unique style. He's very, bouncy in his striking, just, moving in and out a ton. I think what he's trying to do is just work for that takedown. I think that's what all his striking is about. Not saying it's bad. It's pretty good, but he's doing it to get somewhere. I think that's pretty apparent. And when he wants to take you down, he wants to look for the submission, and he's pretty active when he gets you down looking for that sub. To me, there's a clear difference in the feet, and Kara France has much more power, and he's much more dangerous on the feet than Amir Albazi is. Albazi has the technical advantage maybe in the ground game. Okay?
He should. I just don't see it even getting there.
Right. Now, here's another thing I want to talk about. Albazi's 4-0 in the UFC. Very impressive 16-1 record.
Super impressive.
So that is what it is. He's 4-0 in the UFC. His fights were against nobodies really though. Alessandro Costa, Francisco Figueiredo, Zalga Zumagulov, and Malcolm X. Not the best fighters. Not the best fighters at all. And then Kara France, we compare that to his resume. Brandon Moreno twice. Askar Askarov, Cody No Love, Bontarine, Royval, Tyson Nam.
He's fought the best of the best, man.
That's not different level of resume. Kara France opened, listen to this, as a -240, and that's where he stayed.
Oh, really?
And that's where he stayed.
That's kind of crazy.
Amir
he's that big of a favorite?
-240.
Right now?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Amir Albazi opened as a +700. Okay?
How is he only minus...
And he has moved down to a +200 now.
Wait.
Yes, you heard me right.
How's it possible that Kara France odds never moved?
I don't know. He opened at -240, and he's...
But -240...
would not correlate with a +700.
Yeah, that doesn't make
I don't
sense.
know, Doug. That's why I'm saying it.
Nobody would bet.
Well, he was +700, and now he's +200, so... It is what it is. I think that's weird. There had to have been a ton of money coming in on Albazi, or they're like, yo, we're tweaking, and this is crazy. I'm going to go ahead and take the safe pick here and ride with Kara France. I think he's too good to get taken down constantly. And if he's down there, I think he'll be able to manage and, kind of survive those situations.
I don't think he gets down once.
Fair.
I don't think he gets taken down once, bro.
He has great takedown defense. So
yes, I don't think he gets taken down once.
It's very possible. We have seen him get subbed, though, when he is taken down. That's what worries me a little bit about that.
I think he's too weird. He's not going to let that happen.
Right. Here's what I want to say, though. I think the power coming back at Amir Albazi is going to be something he hasn't seen yet.
I agree, especially as a guy that's on the come up in the weight class.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think it's
a tough as hell.
It's a very high jump. This guy, literally, his last fight was for the title. I know it was interim.
And I know it's been a minute, too, but...
it was for the title.
Yeah.
And Albazi has faced nobody competition.
And I was nervous for that one as a Brandon Moreno fan. I was.
Yeah, rightfully so. I think he's got the power to put anyone out.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, the power is going to make a difference. Albazi's going to feel that power that he hasn't felt before coming back at him during the fight. I think that's going to make him hesitant. He's going to want to shoot a lot, and I think that's going to be the beginning of the end for him, really. So I think, honestly, around 3 or 4 TKO is a possibility here.
Okay. I could see it.
Just like a build-up, you know what I mean?
Feet?
Yeah, like a build-up of damage.
And where he's just kind of he's just shelling up?
Yeah, shelling up, kind of backing up against the cage, cowering a little bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe just constant shooting, and it's not working, and then the referee stops it. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. I'm fairly confident in this one, 7 out of 10.
Wow, really? Okay. I'm not super confident.
Me either. A 7 out of 10. But anyways, this is supposedly, I'm hoping, going to be my 4th straight. I think for you it's 6. We're going to count it.
It would be my 6th, yeah.
We're going to count it. Next week is a guaranteed number 5 for me, a guaranteed number 7 for you if we win this, as Amanda Nunes takes on Irina Aldana in the paper main event. Aldana. In the paper main event, okay? Because the people's main event is Charles Do Bronx Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush.
And you're going Beneil.
To my boys. My heart is going to be broken more for the guy that loses that fight than happy for the winner of that fight.
That's such a big one for you, dude.
That's a huge one. Those are two, like, extreme my boys. Anyways, I'm excited as shit. I'm scared as shit for that card.
How many did we disagree on this one?
Not too many, dude. It was like one at that point when you asked me. It was one when you asked me at that point.
So maybe 3 max.
Probably.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyways, I'm super stoked. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Ring the little bell. Make it jiggle or whatever it does.
Make that thing jiggle.
Bang. Follow us on Instagram at the107MMA. DS, anything else to say? MMA Youngboy gave y'all a kiss. I'm Dino Bam Bam. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.